My relationship to food is based a lot around health.
I try to keep it mostly for sustenance.
I grew up in the TV dinner age, you know. We had a lot of rubber steaks cooked on the skillet and instant mashed potatoes out of the box and cranberry sauce in the can, that kind of thing.
My food philosophy is to always try to eat something real.
Jura. I'm really actually excited about Jura.
I'm not really nervous about anything. I am excited to taste new foods. I'm excited to learn a lot about how cheese is made.
What I think about that might make me a little anxious or ambivalent would be this, I don't know what this Gita is that we're staying in. I know it's kind of like a farmhouse thing, and I don't know if each room has its own bathroom facility, but I've camped plenty of times, so I'm assuming that this is a cross between camping and maybe a Best Western, I don't know.
The entire point of the program is to explore the ideas of terroir, of what it means to understand the values that people place in a region on their food and how it comes from the earth, what elements that it encompasses of the region.
So terroir, to me, is equivalent to nostalgia.
I know nothing about terroir at all.
Home-cooked, homemade foods.
I know absolutely nothing about terroir. I don't even know if that's correctly pronounced. I know I've heard it once or twice before, hearing someone talk about it in this pretentious way.
Well, I'm more excited to be sharing it with a small select group of people that are like-minded, and we all are really interested in seriously learning beyond the scope of what we already know.
Claire said to us that everyone can taste, and that not only can everyone taste, but everyone can taste very well. And I have to say that when she said that, it was like a wave of relief just kind of washed over me. I don't know that I've ever had it said to me in that way before. And so it really was also just a moment of clarity, like complete clarity, because I don't know that I had given myself the freedom to experience my taste that way.
When you smell your glass of wine, there is not one which say, oh, it's fruity, and it's true fruit, it's pepper and raspberries and nothing else. No, there is a lot of things that way to describe.
Today we hit the road, took a bus to Comté's, the farm where the cows graze, and then where they are having a milking every morning and every night. So we arrived at, I think it was around 7:30 a.m. and we all got to see the cows going into their milking area, and then they paraded out like 5 at a time. And some people got splatted by cow dung, but we won't say names. You know who you are. I mean, we walked into the cow milking facility. The whole floor was wet with just cow dung mud. But then we go to this cheese making facility, and everything is so pristine clean that we actually have to wear caps over our hair. We have to wear a plastic wrap around our clothing, and we have to wear blue booties over our shoes. That was such a paradox. It was more like an operation, you know, really. They were very big on the cleanliness factor, even though nobody was really going to stick their finger in the cheese, although I wanted to.
Today, we left around 8:45 to go to the Affiner, which is the aging facility. It was really interesting because I didn't really think it would be so industrial, and it was kind of actually unpleasant because of all the ammonia that the cheese gives off, that it just like this acrid chemical kind of burn. It was just interesting that the association with this like super artisanal product is this acrid chemical, industrial, robotic, mechanized thing. I have been so struck by how collective everything is and how collaborative the whole process is and how they've managed to uphold kind of the values of artisanal production while utilizing the best parts of modern industrial production. It's a really interesting way of marrying modernity and tradition.
At first, it really seemed like terroir was this like romanticized ideal of what food could be. And I mean, I still think it's a romantic idea. You know, I don't think that I've lost that, but I also think it's more. We were at Jean-Mi's vineyard when he was talking about how he had some people from California come and taste his wine, and he makes the vin jaune, the yellow wine, and it takes 7 years to age, and it's a really extensive process, and you never really make your money back on it. And the people from California were like, well, why on earth? Why would you do something that you couldn't get your money back on? And he was just like, not appalled, but just like totally taken aback. Like, why would you question that? Like, it's the heritage of the Jura. Like this is vin jaune. Like, I'm a winemaker. Why would I not create this? But I love the idea that it's not about the money. It's about like, this is my cultural heritage, and of course I'm gonna participate in it. I love that.
Before this trip, I had kind of an academic sense of what terroir was, but when Denis, our guide, bent down and took his pocket knife out of his hand, and he cut something out of the ground and he handed it to us, and he talked about how the minerals all pass through the mountains and through the water and into the roots next to this waterfall where we were standing, and we taste it, and everyone in the class is making this face like this, and everyone's kind of bent over spitting it out, and I could taste the sweetness that he was describing in the root, and I could taste the minerals, and I thought, this is what terroir is.
Okay, lean down like this one. Yeah.
Ready? Okay.
Lean down, go. Lean down.
We got the Comté crazy.
Ammonia in my brain.
These robots ain't lazy.
This juice gotta age.
4, 6, 24 months.
Taste is never the same.
A product of the Jura region.
Comté.